What's up with you guys? My name's Ian Higginbotham. I'm a Rapier fighter in the SCA, as well as a lightsaber enthusiast and various other things like that. I'm actually going to be showing you guys some pointers on how to fight in the SCA, what you're going to need, things like that, for Rapier. I don't know much about the chivalric fighting. I don't know much about their heavy fighting. And I don't know anything. I know next to nothing about cut and thrust. So I may or may not be uploading videos on lightsaber combat, because there's a lot of videos out there on it. A lot of them are useful, but there are some of those videos that aren't quite so useful because they explain a lot of different techniques that utilize wasted energy and wasted movement, so on and so forth. I should clarify right now, I understand the difference between flashy lightsaber combat and actual martial arts combat, but it only really works either in choreography or with a real-life lightsaber, which doesn't know it exists. So that's my personal opinion. So yeah, hope you guys like, subscribe, and enjoy the video. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, to fight Rapier, you're going to need a Rapier. Rapier has to be of a specific type of steel. You can find all of that on the SCA's website in the Rapier handbook. You can make your own as long as it fits the proper bend requirements on both sides, and that's pretty much it. It has to be blunted on all sides, and if you use it after a while, you have to file down the edge and get rid of any nicks that could possibly cut people. Also, you have to have a tip, or a blunted tip of some sort. I think rubber is the only kind you can use, maybe even cork, but it has to, and I should also clarify, all of this is according to Onsteora's rules on Rapier fighting. There's a lot of different addendums that we don't, that are different between the different kingdoms in the SCA. But yeah, in Onsteora have to have the blade, the tape, and the blunt itself have to be each a different color than the next, so that they don't blend in with each other. So yeah, this Rapier specifically, I got it. It's a, I believe it's the 2-ring hilt Rapier from Darkwood Armory. They make some really high quality stuff. There's also Castile Armory, and there's a Zen Warrior Armory. They all make a SCA Rapier gear. The Zen Warrior Armory, last time I checked, was the cheaper alternative to all three of them. Castile Armory, I think, is more along the medium to high end, and Darkwood Armory is definitely a high end. This was a rather expensive weapon, and I'm talking more than $200. So you've got the pommel, you've got the hilt, okay? Then you've got the quillons right here. This is the knuckle guard. These are the swept. This is the swept hand guard. It's more of a long. It's useful for stopping blades from getting in, things like that. But otherwise, it's pretty much just decoration. In between here and here, you have what's called the ricasso. You wrap your fingers around this in between, and keep the quillons in between your fingers, and it gives you more control, more leverage on someone's blade. Now, after that, you've got the different parts of the blade. From here to about here, you've got the forte. And from here to here, you have the debola, okay? Now, the side with the knuckle guard, where your knuckles pointed down, that is the true edge, okay? This is the strongest side, the side that offers the most leverage. The part facing the opposite direction of your knuckles, that's the false edge, okay? False edge it doesn't have much strength just due to the science and anatomy behind your wrist. Your wrist likes to move this way. It doesn't like to move this way, okay? I don't know if that's exactly the science behind it, but I just know from what I've experienced personally, it is a lot harder to parry like this than it is to parry like this, because my wrist wants to move this way, not this way. At that point, I'll teach you the different types of grip. You've got the one-finger grip, where you wrap one finger around the ricasso, and you use your thumb, and you put your thumb somewhere. I like to have mine right here so I can brace and offer a little bit more push and leverage. You've got the 2-finger grip, which it delivers a lot more. It delivers a lot more force, but it's not quite so finitely controlled as the one-finger grip. And then you've got this grip. I've seen people fight like this before. I personally don't like it. It feels really weird. And then you've got just the no key-on grip. Now, whenever you decide which grip you like, you need to figure out how you're going to hold the blade. Now, you want it to be loose in your hand, but you don't want it to be so loose that it can get knocked from your hand. You want to be able to go from a loose grip to a sturdy grip in like that, because that's about as much time as you have by the time their blade is touching yours. Okay. Next, you want to find out where it sits nicely, how it sits. I prefer to pinch my blade, or pinch my grip in the two-finger fashion. I use the two-finger fashion. I keep one finger up here, the other finger down here. It's not the most comfortable of grips, but it's what works best for me, because whenever I fight, I keep my grip like this, and it allows me to do quick disengages. I can parry outward and inward relatively quickly, and it also allows me to come up and under. There's a bunch of different types of styles. There's Degrassi, there's Capoferro, there's Giganti, Tybalt's, there's Silver, there's so many, and I can't really remember all of them, but I'm still relatively new, and I'm basically going to be making these videos as I learn more and more and more. I've only been doing it for like 3-4 years compared to the people that have been doing it for 15 plus years. I mean, I know some people that have been doing this since like the 70s. So there's a lot of people out there, especially in the SCA, that are really, really skilled at what they do. I use Capoferro. The SCA uses a style called SCA Modern. It's a lot more. It's a lot closer to a mixture of all of the different types of masters. It's a lot more efficient for nowadays, because in the SCA you're not allowed to whenever it comes to Rapier, just regular Rapier, not cut and thrust. But whenever it comes to just regular Rapier, you're not allowed to do any slashing strikes. So a cut to the side of the head, a cut to the arm, a cut to the neck, something like that, you can't do that. They do employ draw cuts, but I'll talk about all of that in another video. Next, we're going to move on to footwork. Footwork to me is one of the most important things. Well, at this point, if you're a martial arts, if you already study martial arts, I'd recommend just kind of looking at how Rapier footwork works. If you have a generic mindset of good footwork and how footwork works and so on, and how you can gain control of a fight using footwork, then you can move on to another video. But I would just recommend checking out how Rapier footwork works. And if you're new, I suggest watching this video, because footwork is one of the most important things in a fight. If you match one fighter with another fighter, and they both have equal combat skills, but one of them doesn't have good footwork, the one with the good footwork will more than likely come out on top, because the way he places his body is analyzed, and it's set up to a specific pattern, basically, to get them into and out of trouble very, very effectively and very, very quick. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the footwork. Whenever it comes to footwork, you want your primary foot, which is your sword hand foot, whether that's your left foot or your right foot. You want that one to be in front. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to instruct you on right-handed. So, I'm going to stand like this. I'm going to put my heel up against my heel, not in the middle of my foot, not at the front of my foot, because I don't want my feet to cross. So put your heel up against your heel, okay? Then you want to point your primary foot at your opponent, turn your head towards your opponent, take a step back to about shoulder width while you're still looking at your opponent. Then you want to, and again, this is Capoferro, you want to lean back, put your weight on your back foot, and you want to squat down a little bit. Now that you got your feet into that position, you want to take your torso, move it back a little bit. You want to keep your hips straight, okay? So you're leaning back, keeping your hips straight, and your blade wants to come up right about here, okay? Your left hand or your offhand can come back here. You can use this to beat away blades, so on and so forth. SCA Modern likes to have you sitting central, like you want to have your weight evenly distributed, so you have both spring forward and backwards, and you want to have your hand up here, out here somewhere that you can parry and strike, okay? But with Capoferro, he likes to have his hand up back here. In the last ditch effort, you can bat your hand away, but this is mostly for balance. So whenever you advance, you want to lift your foot, and move yourself with your back foot, okay? So you go step, step. Now, you always want to come back into this position. If you take a step and you feel yourself a little too forward, then try and adjust yourself accordingly until it becomes just natural, okay? So keep the weight on the back foot. So whenever you advance, you just lift your foot up, step with your heel, and place it, and move your foot back, okay? You lift, step, place. You don't want to go more than a foot's width, because if you go more than a foot, you can throw yourself off balance really easily, and it makes it a lot harder to recover. So, like if I were to step right here, I'm technically in a lunge. Therefore, if they were to rotate under my guard or something like that, I couldn't recover very easily. So you want to keep it a foot at a time. Now, whenever we're talking about advancing and retreating, stepping right, stepping left, you want to always step with the foot facing the direction you're going. So if we're going forward, I want to lift my foot up, move it about a foot's width, place my foot, and then step, okay? Whenever I'm retreating, I want to do the same thing, about a foot's width backwards, and place, okay? Now, whenever you want to go to the right, you use your right foot. If you're left-handed, and your guard is, and your fighting position is like this, okay? You're stepping to the right. You use your right foot. You step to the right. Okay. Now, with right-handed people, you will take a step to the right and place yourself. Stepping to the left, so you use your left foot, and you place. Okay? Now, keep in mind, during all of this, my heels are still in line with each other. That's because if I were to cross my legs like this, that's the reason why I'm telling you to step with this foot. Because if you step to the left with your right foot, your legs then cross, and it becomes really easy to come off balance. As I step here, if someone were to push me, or push against me or something like that, I wouldn't be able to retreat. So you want to make sure your feet do not cross. Okay, so again, advancing, step, retreating, step, to the right, step, to the left, step. Okay, every single time my feet stayed right in the position they're supposed to be in. That's all the time I have for this video. I hope you guys like, subscribe. If this was helpful, then share it to your friends. And I hope you guys have a very, very wonderful day. Vivat on store.